So, as you know, the DLC embargo has been lifted. Not that I had anything, I'm not important. But the Discord and a bunch of other creators do have some stuff. I am not going to look at any of the other creator videos because when I go through the DLC, I want to be completely blind. Or mostly blind. But, you know. So I can't really cover other people's stuff because I really want to go into the DLC blind. So the only thing I'm going to really cover is like trailers, stuff like that. You know, I'm not going to look at any actual gameplay from other people. But what doesn't count is this. The Liza P Discord has this DLC discussion. I've been browsing it. I've been making sure to skip some things that I might think are spoilery. But there's this post from one of the devs at NeoWiz talking about some of the additional features to the base game that isn't in the DLC, that you can get without the DLC. So I just wanted to cover that real fast. So when is the new base game patch being deployed? At the same time as the DLC, summer 2025. How will I get access to the new patch? Anyone who owns the base game will have access to the patch. It will be deployed free of charge and does not require Overture. Is the new patch required to play Overture? Yes. I mean, obviously. What are the new difficulty settings coming with the patch? The new base game patch adds 2 difficulty settings: Butterfly's Guidance and Awakened Puppet. These settings are for players who want a more story-focused experience with varying degrees of intensity in combat encounters. And what we now know as the sort of default, what we all played before, is now Legendary Stalker difficulty. So I imagine these as sort of like Butterfly's Guidance, like very easy. Awakened Puppet is like easy. And then like Legendary Stalker is like normal, obviously. It's the base difficulty. What are the new challenge modes in the patch and how do they work? The new base game patch adds 2 challenging boss battle modes to Liza P. And this is one of the things that I was the most excited for. And one of the things I even asked during the event last time, but it didn't get answered, but it's getting answered now, I suppose, is an easier way to fight bosses, or refight them. So both modes will become accessible via the Hotel Stargazer once players have seen at least one base game ending. New bosses from Overture will be available in these modes once they are been defeated in the DLC. These modes are locked to the default Legendary Stalker difficulty and will be unaffected by switching to the other new alternative difficulty modes, meaning you have to fight them at their max strength. So the first mode is Battle Memories. Relive battles against any previously defeated boss. Players can progress through 5 increasing challenge tiers of difficulty. The first 3 are initially available, and tiers 4 and 5 are unlocked by completing the previous tiers. Bosses in Battle Memories have their own unique stats that improve with each difficulty tier. So yeah, this sounds like... I don't know exactly what it means. It sounds like... It says... each boss. So I assume each specific boss in the game has, you know, tiers 1 to 5 of difficulty. And obviously each tier probably adds something new to their stats. Maybe they're faster, maybe they deal more damage or whatever. Just sort of a challenge mode. And you can start at tier 3, and then you have to beat the boss to get to tier 4, and then beat the boss again to get to tier 5. And I assume that's for every boss. Next mode is Death March. Challenge a consecutive series of previously defeated bosses with limited health and items. Players can set up custom scenarios by freely choosing a minimum of 3 bosses per challenge. By default, bosses can be added to Death March scenario at up to tier 3 difficulty. New difficulty tiers become available, as they're unlocked in Battle Memories. So this is sort of like a custom boss rush mode. So yeah, once you beat the bosses in Battle Memories, you can then fight them, you know, as the higher tiers, but you can also add them to Death March with, you know, tiers 1 through 5. With a minimum of 3 bosses in a row. Which, they didn't specify a maximum here. They said minimum. Which makes me think you can do every boss. So, let me tell you. Once I beat the DLC, I'm for sure doing, like, every boss, tier 5 boss rush, if that's possible. Catch me on my Twitch and YouTube stream. We're gonna go do that shit. Sounds amazing. This is literally everything I've ever wanted from, like, a boss rush difficulty. Kazan has something similar, actually. If you've played Kazan, recently they updated it. And there's a cool-ass boss rush mode, kind of like this, where you can fight them, like, consecutively in a row with limited resources. And that's tough. So I'm so fucking excited for this. And right here, as we can see, how much will the DLC cost? $30 US. You know, I'm paying for that. And here's the price listings. And all we know for the date is summer. Quotation marks. $30 is way more than fair, bro. But yeah, bro, being able to fight, like, we can fight like Romeo, Luxasia, Nameless Puppet back to back in a single boss rush thing. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm sort of looking at some stuff here. We've already got 4 bosses in the DLC confirmed, which may mean the DLC has a total of 10. Wow. But yeah, that's going to be it for this time. For the main discussion here. There is an event as of recording right now in, like, actually 30 minutes. I'm probably not going to stream it. I mean, you can check on the channel if I did or not by the time this is uploaded. But because it has to do with the DLC, and again, I want to not be spoiled. So I'll probably just look at it, and if I see some DLC stuff, I'm gonna back out. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'm gonna stream the fuck out of this game when it comes out. Content Machine. Check the Twitch in the description. See ya.